What?
I forgot what to say.
Oh, we don't ever say anything. You know what? That's the start. Him forgetting. We're back again. I'm speaking first now for some reason because he doesn't do his job properly.
I think I had a mini stroke. I just forgot. So this week's episode, we're talking with our heavyweight champion, Rogan from Yorkshire Tough. Mm-hmm. It's I'm
gonna put the wire on the blue tack, and it might. No, it didn't.
Just leave the wire. Really interesting conversation. To be fair, lots of funny stuff.
Sounds like it with the way he's just got really interesting.
I'm trying to read at the same time. No, it was quite serious as well, though, wasn't it? So the serious talk of wrestling and his heart surgeries and health condition that, by most other people's standards, should have made him never be in wrestling.
By pretty much everyone's standards,
yeah, I think it's what's pushed him to be how he is with wrestling. But really interesting. Obviously, we've pre-recorded it. We speak about Argos pens and his love of Argos and Tesco.
I don't think it was a love of Argos.
And Morrison's and where else did he love?
He did not love Argos.
He likes the free pens. And also one of my favourite movies ever, Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah. You did. We always talk about movies, yet his thing is food.
Yeah.
This guy loves food.
Food's important. We spoke about meal deals. We spoke about McFlurries.
Yeah, do you know what? They can find that out
by watching it, yeah. So
which they are doing if they're seeing this.
Yeah. So anything happened this week that we should speak about before we go into the episode?
I don't know.
You've watched wrestling?
Oh,
what have you watched?
Well, this is in advance from... Because obviously the episode was pre-recorded, but Saturday Night's main event was week before?
Last weekend.
Last weekend, yeah. That was alright.
Any standouts?
Well, it wasn't... Saturday Night's main event, it's kind of like a filler show to have a show, isn't it?
Yeah, but there must have been something that stood out for you.
A cage match was alright. Jesse Ventura bullying the cage match to shit was quite funny.
And he's clearly loves referees as well, by the look of it. I quite like the R-Truth Cena
the entrance
match segment, however you want to call it.
The entrance of Truth was good, but the match was just nothing.
It's what it needed to be.
It wasn't ever going to be anything, like, but it was nothing.
For the purpose of what it was, I thought it was exactly what it needed to be. As much as I'd love to see R-Truth get a massive push and a title.
It wasn't for the title.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, I would still love to see him get, like, a main event spot and a big title run of some sort.
You can tell why this man doesn't do the booking.
I think Truth's great.
Truth is great, but having Truth as world champ would just make the world title feel like nothing.
No, I never said world champ, just a championship push.
He's had that already.
Yeah, I know, but another one.
He's 50.
Exactly, and he still looks younger than me.
Yeah, I mean, that's more to do with you than him, I reckon.
Yeah, probably. Anyway,
I mean, your hair's nearly the same colour as your skin, so...
My skin isn't grey. If my skin's grey, I'm having a heart attack.
It's getting whiter, is that hair? I tell you.
Brilliant. Anyway, on with the episode. I hope you enjoy it. Leave us 5 stars on the podcast networks, reviews and things like that.
We'll get good at this one day.
Yeah, well, we could do a script or something. That'd probably be the way to do it.
No, what's the fun in that?
Yeah. Share it, like it, subscribe, press the notification bell. What else? Anything?
I still don't know what platforms we're on. I don't know why you keep asking me this.
No, anything else we should do? Or they should do?
Eat food.
Eat food. Yeah. If you've got any food places what we haven't mentioned on here in Lincoln, drop them in the inboxes and we'll see if we can go and eat somewhere. As long as they sell nuggets, he'll be happy.
Yeah.
So
Autism.
onto the episode. Enjoy.
Wabang. Fuck does wabang mean?
Welcome back, and here we are today with our guest, Mr. Rogan.
It's a pleasure to be on. Thanks for having me. I feel really awkward talking about myself, but Let's see what happens here.
You've really undersold him there, Mr. Rogan's world champion.
Mr. World
He is our
Champion
world
Rogan.
champion. You're like,
I was in my head. I was like, "Where's the second name?"
really needed to big him up there.
Okay, go on then. I'll let you do it.
No, that's a you job. You do all the opening and introducing. That's a you job.
There
You
you
just
go.
did your job.
You chat shit and you shut up.
shitly.
So, we're just going to start off just by asking you to talk about you, really, your story, what you're into, wrestling, movies, all that sort of stuff. Just
Yeah, so I mean, my story's a bit different to most people. I mean, behind the curtain, my name's Corey. I'm not like massively exciting. This literally is my escape, the wrestling. Outside of wrestling, like a lot of people don't know, but I was like a Make-A-Wish kid, which surprises a lot of people. They see the scar on my chest and they instantly assume there've been surgeries. But I don't think they realise like how close I was to like seriously not been here. So that's a bit tense. So all these years later, to be Fight Factory champion or 9 other champions up and down the country for different promotions and helping out any way I can, it's pretty humbling because it wasn't meant to happen. So yeah, weekdays I throw a shit on a shelf on a night shift, and on the weekends I slap people and then get accused of beating people up.
well,
I'm gonna hope that's related to the wrestling.
Potentially, I mean, it depends.
when this goes on the internet, and that's the place to not say these things.
No comment.
So, do you mind going a bit more into the whole like beginning and how close it was and stuff like that?
So yeah, I was born with a condition called aortic stenosis. So it's the valves of the heart either are split and it's not pumping blood to your heart, or they have holes in, which they call leaking valves. So yeah, I had 3 surgeries before the age of 5, like open heart surgeries, just to make sure I was recovering. They told me I'd be in a wheelchair and be on like blood thinners for life, and by the time I'm 16 I'd have to have, you know, another surgery. So PE and stuff growing up wasn't exactly the same for me. Growing up I had to like adapt. Everyone treated me different. Like swimming and shit was always weird. But I'm 29 now, and touch wood, no surgeries. Every year I have to get a medical, and every year I go back and they're like, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. And every year I keep passing medicals to keep wrestling. So I don't know, it's a fucking miracle. I was on the front page of the paper when I did the Make-A-Wish thing. Thomas Land. Don't knock Thomas. Thomas the Tank Engine is the GOAT.
Thomas the Tank Engine gave me nightmares as a kid.
Really?
Terrify him.
I don't know what it was, but I had proper like night terrors over Thomas the Tank Engine.
Are you alright?
I would have been like 4. My brother used to come in, he'd get his Kindle or whatever, and he'd just start playing Thomas the Tank Engine. It was horrible.
I think that's child abuse, mate.
So
Child on child abuse, is that a thing?
one of you, Thomas, was a hero, and the other one was nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Polar opposites.
At least you have a match, we know the finish, yeah? Just put Thomas in the ring.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Rather than a Ben 10 DVD set, it'd be Thomas the Tank.
Oh,
right?
God, yeah, I forgot all about that. I think he still has that, you know.
Does he?
Yeah, poor lad.
Well, that is on Fight Factory On Demand at some point, if anyone wants to know the reference to that.
I want to know the reference to that.
Subscribe to the On Demand service. So how did you get into wrestling then?
So, growing up, my dad always had like wrestling on. He always had it in the background. He wasn't a massive fan, but he was always on. I remember watching WrestleMania 17, and
Great show.
yeah. Everyone talks about WrestleMania 17, but everyone always talks about Austin and The Rock. Everyone always talks about the TLC. But for me, it was the hardcore triple threat with Raven, Kane, and Big Show. So growing up, my dad was a massive horror fan. There was always horror movies on TV. I don't know why. But for whatever reason, Kane reminded me of Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
So watching that triple threat, I was just memorized what is going on. Why is this big 7-foot guy in a mask in a golf cart against another 7-foot giant, throwing another guy through a window, and the finish is falling off the stage? I was hooked. Completely hooked from wrestling at that point. And I was just obsessed.
That's graps. That's like peak wrestler. My favourite match from that card
Gets kind of lost in the shuffle, but that Undertaker Triple H, was it Falls Count Anywhere? Or something like that.
Yeah, it goes
That
all the way
match-
into the crowd.
That match was incredible as well. WrestleMania
100%.
17 was a lot of just violence, so that was
Yeah, 100%.
great
And
show.
I don't think Taker on the bike gets enough credit either.
American Badass Taker.
Yeah,
I think he's
100%.
better than the Dead Man, personally.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I can see how in that era that the Deadman character probably wouldn't have worked because it was very reality based. Like a lot of the cartoon characters were going out in the Attitude Era, so I think Taker needed a switch. So I liked it. I thought it was great.
I would have been intrigued to see where he went with the whole ministry thing and how he could have progressed that rather than going to the American. For me, the American Badass sort of ruined it a little bit.
Really,
But I obviously grew up 80s wrestling
yeah,
and 90s wrestling, so there was a lot of cartoon characters and like very over the top stuff. But it doesn't take away from the work. If it was two separate people, it was incredible still. Does that make sense? So for me, it was just as good, but it was just not the same.
I think the ministry ran its course when they hung someone, to be honest.
Big Boss Man.
I think
and then it
that's
was
where
on
the
it was
line
on
is.
Raw the next week.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. The ministry theme was great though.
That's a real
Yes.
worker, that, by the way.
Yeah, the thing. What was the album? There was a whole couple of albums that came out around that time that all had really good music on them.
Jim Johnston is the best when it comes to wrestling things. So
Oh,
they've
100%.
just gone downhill since he left.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, I think the issue now is, and I say it again to a lot of people nowadays when they're trying to make music and they're talking to like people about songs, is when you hear that opening riff, you should be able to know. Austin with the Glass, Undertaker, anyone from Kane to Triple H, you knew instantly who that was. When nowadays, if you watch a Royal Rumble from number 1 to number 30, you could close your eyes and you couldn't have a clue who's coming out.
Unless you're autistic like me, then you can't learn them.
His little school trick was he could know, like you say, within 3 seconds,
Really?
he knew everybody from when I was a kid
Yeah.
all the way through to that point in time.
Jesus Christ.
Like, whenever it was long car journeys, you just play like 2 seconds.
Oh,
of
your
wrestling
favourite
thing.
game, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I'd have to guess them. And I'm pretty sure I was decent at it. I mean, I can't remember. But
I'm sure you could.
yeah.
So do you carry on watching horror movies then?
Oh, I'm a massive horror fan. Like, my favourite horror movies are probably like Scream because I grew up watching that sort of
Still
stuff.
iconic one, that is.
Yeah, now it's made like a big comeback and everyone's talking about it again. But yeah, even nowadays, just watching like random horror movies, old and new, it's something that reminds me of my old man. So yeah, I would say I'm a massive horror fan.
Is that your favourite genre or is it just one?
Yeah, 100%. I'm just into like special effects and just the feeling of being uneasy but also entertained. I feel like the only thing you can really describe a horror movie to is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And you go on a roller coaster for the feeling of thrill. And I think that's the same way with horror movies. If you're watching a horror movie, you want to, at least at one point during that movie, to feel a bit of unease. And saying it out loud, it does sound a bit morbid or why would anyone do that to themselves? But then you can ask yourself, why would you go to a theme park? It's exactly the same.
So,
The theme park's bright colours.
so's Saw. There's a lot of bright red in there. So for me, like I like quite a few horror movies, but I think most of them just become so predictable. So when you said, Saw and Scream, and what was the other one? There was another one that really, another one that really sort of broke the mold in horror movies. They're the ones that sort of brought me back into them.
Right.
Like I remember being younger and probably too young by video ratings, but I used to love the Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
and,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, and the Jason movies.
Yeah.
And
Has
then you watch
anyone-
back now and they're like quite comedic rather than
100%.
horror. But back then, different game, wasn't it?
Has anyone ever actually followed video ratings for like ages though?
I don't know.
Like,
No.
I was never allowed to watch them. I just managed to. So, what other sort of movies are you into then? Do you watch anything?
So mainly it is really just horror movies for me personally. I mean, I can watch like comedies and stuff and easily get like lost in it, like Step Brothers. How can you not love Step Brothers?
yeah.
Everyone
I
loves
went
Step
for a
Brothers.
period of time of hating Step Brothers, but
Really?
yeah.
No.
So
fuck off.
Valentine is the reason.
Why?
So it was my brother's stag do. It was a very, very messy week, which nearly resulted in 2 people dying. Alcohol and drug poisoning. So this was day one, the travelling.
Right.
So we met at a pub around the corner from here, and we thought the cheapest but different way of doing a stag was go on the ferry, so we could treat that like a party boat.
Yeah.
So when we met in the pub, there was 3 drivers and all 3 cars full of people. They were all drinking except for the drivers. So we get to the ferry, everyone's already pissed. That's 3.5 hours of driving with drunk people.
Yeah.
Stopping on the motorway so they can piss in the middle of the motorway with traffic everywhere. We get onto the ferry. We decide, let's play catch up. And one of the other drivers was one of my brothers who doesn't drink. I'm quite tight when it comes to spending money on alcohol. So €6 for a pint or €20 for a bottle of Jack Daniels. Let's get the bottle and neck it. And it turned into a wrestling match on the ferry, a fight with some other people is the only way I can word this without getting cancelled.
Yikes.
And a certain person stealing from the shop in there.
Right.
And then it's like, right, okay, it's 3 a.m. We need to get some sleep because we've got a heavy day of drinking and drugs the next day. Legal when you're in Amsterdam, I must say.
Right.
And for the whole night, Valentine was just ripping off quotes from Step Brothers to the point where I'd sobered up and said, if you carry on, I will make sure you're not waking up in the morning. And I couldn't watch it for about 6 months because it just filled me with rage. But now I love it again.
I actually have a really bad habit of doing that. Like, I recently watched it again with someone, and watching Step Brothers, every single line, I know it off by heart. So before the punchline even got there, I couldn't help myself. I'm pretty sure I just ruined the film for the person. So
I love comedies. Like, as critically awful as they are, some Adam Sandler films are great.
early stuff, yeah.
Like, what's the one? That's My Boy. That's a good one.
I've only seen that
And
one
then-
once. I can't really remember.
The one about paedophilia.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's My Boy, the one where the school teacher
Yeah.
impregnates the
It's
student. All right, mate. Whatever floats your boat.
What's the other? We'll move on to a
That's
different one.
edit that one out, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, you know.
Why?
It's on Netflix. That means it's fine, right?
Fuck
Well, yeah.
The Longest Yard. We'll go with that one.
Oh,
That's
I
the
do like
wrestlers.
that.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. Do you take any inspiration from movies for your wrestling then? Like with
Hopefully not.
Yeah,
well, not that one. No. There were some British wrestlers who did.
Oh, God.
Fuck yeah.
But
Jesus.
the thing like Jason moving slow and relating to Kane, is there anything that you can take or you do take from movies and bring into the persona?
So weirdly, when we was pitching Reese and Rogan, we always described it as, you know, Biff from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So I always say when it comes to wrestling, Back to the Future is perfect for structure. And everyone's like, what you on about? So I think the scene where Biff grabs George in the parking lot and you see that close-up shot of George balling up his fist and he finds the edge to punch Biff and he finally stands up to that bully, that is the comeback. That is the bit throughout the entire match where Reese and Rogan has been aggressively bullying their opponent, chops, back clubs, violence, and then right at the comeback, just as you think it's all done, the babyface balls up his fist. The referee stands up to the bullies. That's the pop. That's the comeback. And I think Back to the Future is just a perfect example of a wrestling structure of sympathy and overcoming the bully.
I've genuinely never thought of it like that.
You
I just
just-
think it's
maybe
the
I'm,
perfect film.
maybe
He's a
I'm just
proper Back to
overthinking
the
it.
Future nerd as well.
Yeah,
Surprised
yeah.
you haven't connected
I just think it's the perfect film.
Yeah.
And I was literally so Becca bought me the Back to the Future Lego car.
All
and I was
right.
building it and I was like, it is the
Always
perfect
Lego.
film because there's nothing you could take out of there that every single scene in it needs to be there.
I
You
agree.
take something out and it's missed. So I was like, I'd said that then, and then I listened to the Chris Van Vliet podcast today
Yep.
with Matt Cardona, and he said like it's the perfect movie because everything's in it. I'm like, yeah, it really is. But yeah, like now you've said that, it
Like,
He
to
just
me-
watches things with wrestling to make sure people agree with him. That's what he does.
To me as well, like in those days, the main character was always a nerd. I never thought Marty was a nerd. I thought Marty was cool. He had the girl, he could
Yeah.
play guitar, he could drive, he could do a skateboard. The shine was watching Marty. The heat was when he saw his dad was getting bullied. He had to help his dad. the entire heat was having to watch his own old man be bullied, and he had to build him up. And then the comeback is when his old man finds his inner fight, his fighting spirit, and then the end stretch is all good. And then Biff gets his comeuppance. Brilliant. It's a wrestling match.
Absolute sin.
So if you're watching Back to the Future and you don't know how to structure a match, get on it.
Or quit.
Or retire. Burn your boots. Just die.
Well, shit.
No, there's some homework for you. What sort of music are you into then?
Oh, I'm the worst person to ask me about music.
WWE theme song.
Pretty much, mate, yeah. You could literally, I'd hear an advert and I'm like, what is that song? And just add it to the playlist.
Yeah.
I don't follow bands. I don't follow certain genres. And everyone's just like, oh, are you going to see that band? Or you seen that new album? And I'm like, Ben, what are you on about, mate? What are you on about?
People, Ben.
Yeah. It'll be like, oh, have you seen that album that was out 12 years ago? Yeah, Ben, mate, that was summer.
That was sweet, that one.
I've heard that one that came popular, but the other 8, no, mate, couldn't give a shit.
So you don't have a playlist that you have like to get you in a zone for a match?
Yeah, so I actually have a playlist which is a lot of just utter random songs. I have playlists I just listen at work because just to get me through long shifts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have certain songs or certain genres I go to. I can mix back and forth. Music's never really been my thing. Like a lot of people connect to it on a deep level, and I think if you can do that, that's amazing. But for me, I'm more of like a story guy visually, like movies, for example. I could respect a good song and some good lyrics, but I've never gone out my way to be like, I'm a music guy.
I just put on a song of funny noises and sounds. That's the extent of listening to music for me.
I can't imagine what your playlist is like.
It's so bipolar. 1 second it's Limp Bizkit and the next second it's Katy Perry. So
Whatever floats your boat, boss.
I feel like this is just bullying me today. God,
That's it.
You're opening it up for it.
honestly.
We'll have a match one day, mate, and you're going to get chopped to fuck.
Yeah, I know.
So on that, is there anybody that you haven't had a match with that you would like matches with? I don't necessarily mean here at Fight Factory, like anywhere.
So yeah, I mean, it's no secret that HMD is someone that I wouldn't say me and Reese have like took underneath our wing, but it's not a gimmick, it's real life. He's like a little brother to us, and everyone can see he's going to be a star. He's going to be like the next big thing, and I don't want to reveal anything, but he's got some cool shit coming up. And this time next year, take it from me, he's going to be one of the top names on the scene. But he always comes to me, always sends me matches, and I'm like, Dion, who the fuck am I? And he'll just send me everything and take everything I say on. So I'm desperate to one day just have that match with HMD, because I feel like a lot of his stuff, like everyone's like, he's a great striker, and he's like, Corey showed me that, and I'm like, mate, you don't have to credit me, but the fact he goes out his way to be like, Corey showed me how to punch, and now everyone's like, he's the greatest striker, and I'm like, mate, you don't have to do that shit.
I started hearing rumblings of like the country saying that early last year. I can't remember where we were, if I was working somewhere, if it was a hire, but just someone turned to me and said it, and I was like, wow, this is a long way away from home.
Yep.
And then Kaya's Tom,
yep,
he was like really heavily saying it, and yeah, he does credit you, but I think at the same time you're too humble to accept.
Not doing this.
I'll wait till the viewer questions.
Yeah, you wait
mate.
till some of these questions that are coming.
But yeah, I mean,
Stay tuned. Oh, fuck. I'm just gonna sit here away from the mic in silence. Just you two.
why are you even here, mate?
Why am I even here? I ask myself that every day.
But yeah, going back to the Fight Factory school, there is one person that I've had my eye on. I think everyone's talking about him, and that's Harry. It's no secret that Harry has it. He has something there. And I feel like everyone can see it, but at the moment he's wrestling people at his level, and he's wrestling people at his, how can I say it? He needs to get in there now with with people who are going to test him. And that's why on June 28th, the next show, this isn't me asking for a match. This is me saying straight into the camera to Harry, it's going to be Rogan versus Harry Johnson. Champion versus champion. And I want you to step up. I want you to bring that attitude, that cockiness, that very thing that makes you have it. I want you, Harry, to step up, step in the ring with Rogan, and for once in your life, talking's not going to help. Running's not going to help. Because for once in your life, you're going to have to dig deep. Because it's not about good versus evil. It's about a little bitch learning when he steps out of line, he's going to get his fucking jaw broken in front of his own mum and dad. So I'll see you there, Harry. Next question.
Well, you can pick up the pieces after that and take the title from him.
I should already have it.
I'm not after his belt. I'm after breaking his jaw in front of his own mum. Apart from that.
Talented young kid, but beyond his years and sometimes needs bringing down a bit, right?
I just think he's a cocky little shit and he reminds me of me when I was young. And now I need you to be taught a lesson. I know guys like Nathan Cruz put me in my place and he needs putting in his place.
Yeah.
And while you're out with your shoulder injury, I'll step up. I'll chop shit out of him in front of his mum and dad and throw him to the front row.
There's a couple of people who probably give you a few quid in your back pocket for giving Quill a slap as well.
Does anyone want to wrestle Quill? No, I'm joking. Speaking of blackballed.
So, away from wrestling, just some other little questions that we ask. Your Tesco meal deal, just so people get to know
it's always a mango monster. Always a mango monster. I don't even know if that's even in the meal deal. Right, so the thing is with meal deals, right, and the lads piss me off. You know,
you can tell that he's been asked this several times.
You know the refrigerators?
Yeah.
They fucking stink.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Maxwell and fucking Dion and Ben and Reese, they're like, meal deal, let's get refrigerators.
Yeah, but they're nice.
They're nice,
they are nice, but they fucking stink.
Nice.
In a car, they're awful.
I don't want to be planning a match with someone that fucking stinks.
Crack a window open.
I don't give a shit. Jesus Christ. Mango Monster, Bueno, we're done. We don't have to throw some fruit in there. But what are you doing with refrigerators? What the fuck are we playing at?
What's the main part of the meal deal then?
Oh, mate, sugar in it. I'm fat. Get me a Mango Monster and a fucking Bueno.
What's the main bit? You need the
sandwich or a salad or wrap or whatever.
That's not a meal deal.
I don't give a shit, mate. I'll pay extra just to avoid the sandwich.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I work nights at a supermarket, you know what I mean? I see what those sandwiches look like. They've been sat there about a month. Fuck that, I ain't going near that.
Fair enough.
So no sponsorship with Tesco coming your way?
Yeah, fuck Tesco's, fuck Co-op, fuck Asda. Fuck Argos as well. Don't know why, but just fuck Argos.
What a weird concept Argos is.
Yeah, and fuck Morrison's as well.
It's just Amazon, but in person and a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah, and a lot older.
It's Argos, yeah.
Yes, I'm going to go in and order a product, and it's going to come down on a conveyor belt. I'm going to take one look at it, not going to be able to try it out. You want this? It's in a fucking box. It's put on a shelf. And what was with those blue pens? You only went to Argos to rob a blue pen. You want a free pen? Go to Argos. I'm not here to order a fucking fridge from Argos. Fuck off. Get me a blue pen, dickhead.
As a kid, you used to get really mad at Argos, though, because you'd go in for a figure. What figures have you got? Don't know. And they'd just send them all out. You've broken him.
That's it. He just wants a blue pen. He don't want Rey Mysterio. He wants a blue pen. Go on, mate. Get yourself a free blue pen. Get your Katy Perry on. You'll be sound, mate.
What about your McDonald's meal of choice?
Oh, mate, come on. You're asking a fat guy about McDonald's. I'm being attacked here, boss.
Yeah.
Fuck you, no. McFlurry. Has to be McFlurry. I know you're thinking about meals and that, but Jesus Christ, just give me a McFlurry. I don't care what special it is. It's Biscoff at the moment, mate. Get on it. Biscoff McFlurry.
I had said this, I think, on one of the episodes. I can't remember which one. I don't think anything at McDonald's has flavour except for the sauce and the desserts.
Pretty much.
It's all just bland.
I had the chili, was it Philly cheesesteak the other day? Yeah. And it was like, the burger was warm, but the cheese sauce was freezing. Mm-hmm. And it just created the worst texture. Horrible. Just get me a McFlurry. No, that's about the rest.
We're not getting sponsored by anyone by the end
Ah,
of
no,
this.
It's one of the really
McDonald's as
shit
well.
things, though,
Fuck
isn't it?
KFC.
If you forget food prep, if you don't do food prep, when you're travelling back from somewhere, the only place that's open is only McDonald's, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've even started shutting down like the 24-hour coffee places. I think this is all since COVID, and I'm thinking like it was more recent than what it was. But I remember you could get a Starbucks in the middle of the night. You can't anymore. The little shops like the Marks and Spencers and the count number one, the WH Smith. They were always open. They're not anymore. So the only place you can find anything to eat or drink is a McDonald's. Shit.
There was a KFC on the way back from London, which is better than McDonald's.
It's all bad. So this can be wrestling related. It can be personal life. It can be anything. Most people have gone with wrestling related stuff, but any funny stories that you've got that are appropriate to share?
So I have a long continuous rib where I will purposely change my shan, or I would change other people's shan on the fly. So we had this match where we was in the car for about 4 hours. It was me and Reese versus Jack Maxwell and HMD, and it was like 4 hours away. This was a big opportunity for Hardman Dan and Jack Maxwell, and this is going to sound cruel as fuck, but at the time it was funny. And was in the car for like 4 hours and was just planning this tag match over and over and over again. Little did they know there was booked in a squash. So we planned this like 10-minute match, and we get in the ring and the bell rings and we only have about 4 minutes, and I just cut everything out and we just shot shit out of Dion and Jack, bless them. And they got to the back and they was like, good rib, lads, good rib. So yeah, there'll just be times I'll get in there and I'll be like, different Shan. I don't know what we've just planned. I don't remember it. Oh fucking, we only remember the finish. We're just going to the finish.
Get him to remember it. Get this man a blue pen and a notebook.
That's it. Get me an Argos pen.
No, it's all on a screen now, so you're fucked for the blue pen now.
He's got his Apple pencil and everything.
That's it. Becca can keep giving me 20 minutes. I'll keep doing 12. It's great.
That's what entrances are for, aren't they?
That's it, mate. That's it. You've seen my entrance.
Especially the babyface entrance. Sit with the crowd, shake the hands.
Yeah, have you seen my babyface entrance, right? And this is a trick. You want to learn this when Becca gives you 20 minutes. So when I'm walking around, I don't tag people's hands. I shake the hands. And fans have this habit of holding your hands really long. It gets uncomfortable. So I just walk around and I just shake everyone's hands like a gentleman. And like I get in the ring and the ref's like, you've done 6. Perfect, mate. Perfect. Cut off heat, come back.
Yeah,
Let's go
but
on.
the thing is if I was to do a 6-minute match for given 20, I then have to wake up in the same house as the next day and get told off for it. So
Yeah, but the thing is, even if I do undertime, I get reaction under like Romanov. What? What did I say? What? Long as the people are making noise and you, I'm doing 20 minutes in the ring. I'm just not wrestling for 20 minutes.
But I've always said it's about utilising the time you've got. It doesn't mean like throwing yourself. Well, no, I haven't always said this. I've said this since my memory's got shit, and since my body's been fucked. But like, utilise the time, interact with your audience.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be bump and feed, or
100%.
high spot. Just get reactions.
sometimes you just need to ask the ref what the rules are because he's forgotten them and waste 4 minutes of your time.
All right, fair enough.
Definitely done that once or twice. Can you just explain to these idiots what the rules are? There's 4 minutes gone.
That's it.
I learned a lot of this off Dale Preston, just to throw his name out there because he hasn't been mentioned enough on here.
He's got a figure over there.
He was great to learn how to utilise your time and get reactions without physically hurting yourself. He's a counsellor for his local area, so
He's great.
and I don't think wrestling's.
Can you lend us a tenner?
Sorry,
Could you lend us a tenner?
I don't know if being a counsellor pays that well, does it?
I fucking hope so, man. It's a good title.
He was great to be around though. Like I learned so much from him.
He also made very nice cupcakes.
He did make very nice cupcakes. There's a theme in these where we just talk food a lot.
I'm fine talking about food, boss.
So is there any other stories you'd like to share about wrestling? Anything on the road, anything at shows that like the fans can sort of associate with or buy into?
So we had this thing, especially in the early days, where people would believe me and Reese was related. And it got to the point where I was even doing bets with people, especially on the camps, like the red coats and the people that was working there. And it was like, you're definitely related. And we would just play into it. Like, got to a point where it was just like, yeah, we're brothers. Yeah. And then on the end of the night, we're on the way out, we'd just be like, oh, by the way, we're not even related. I mean, I probably have to ask my mum something. I mean, but you know what I mean? There's probably questions to be asked, but we're not related in any way. But over the years, we've just delved into it. Yeah, fuck it, we're related. If you think that, then that means you've been wet, I guess.
Hey, fair brother.
Do you know,
That's it.
I think it was after the first show you guys had done for us, and you told us that you weren't related. I think I'd asked.
Yeah.
And we got back, and me and her stood, and I'm pointing there for the camera. She's in the office, which is next door. I said, they're not related. They're not brothers or cousins. And her only words were, fuck off. Genuinely did not believe it. So, yeah, like that, I think a lot of fans believe that you are related.
Yeah, I mean, what's the chances? I mean, you meet someone that is similar height, similar build, similar facial hair. I mean, it's pretty uncanny. Like, it got to the point where, because I've come and gone from wrestling, but when I returned properly in about 2018-ish, Reese was just setting off, just starting to get in bookings, and this was at NGW, and the promoter at the time was just like, look, you look too similar that we can't book you both on the same card. Why don't you just try a tag team? And Reese, to his credit, could have said, nah, not for me. And I'll always respect Reese for this, because he said, like, look, not only am I agreeing to do this, I want to do this. And he probably regrets saying that now, because I shoot so many ideas at him. Like, his head just fucking goes. He's got to a point now where we're on the way to a show and I'll just go, Corey, what we doing? Like, for some reason, my brain just ticks. Like, if you, right now, you've said, right, Rogan versus Harry, I can't help it. My brain's already ticking. My brain's already going like, what does Harry do? What does Harry do? And I have to turn that into a finish, because that's just how my brain works. Where Reese, to his credit, he can disconnect, and he can, because he works with counsel and works with helping young people. So he has a very demanding shoot life, where me, it's just wrestling is constantly there. And luckily I'm fortunate to have that free time to watch stuff like Harry's matches. But yeah, I think just the stories of people thinking me and Reese are related. Yeah.
I loved that when we were doing tag stuff, and there's so many things where I'm thinking, like, people are asking me this, people are asking me that, and you go, I've got an idea. Cool. That makes my life so much easier. I turn up and you've got so much structure already there, and I just need to implement what I'm doing here and here. We're away.
I never know how people are going to react, because my brain does work like that, and I'll just like have like a notepad of ideas. If I get an idea now, I'll just write it down, because if you have an idea, you could lose it.
Yeah.
Same with a single move or a spot. And I'll turn up to every single match with at least an idea, because the quicker that match can come together, your first idea is probably not your best idea. Mm-hmm. But if you throw an idea at, say, example, you, and then you say, that's great, how about we turn it into this? By the third time you've gone through that match, you've tweaked it 3 times now. Mm. But if you say, right, doors are in 10 minutes, go plan your match, you were going to pick your first idea, and you are going to go with your first idea. And the match is going to be okay, but you're going to watch it back and you're going to kick yourself. And there's nothing wrong with planning. I know a lot of people, like old timers, like, let's call it out there. And that's great as well. That's great as well when you get to that level. But people, especially young people, especially in today's spot monkey era, it's cool just to be like, hey, here's an idea, bro. What do you think of this?
It fascinates me watching people plan.
Oh,
as you know, like, my planning brain ain't great. Like, I'd
He's very
beginning,
much, I'll see
middle,
you out
end,
there, brother.
and let's do everything else out there, as you know. But like, to watch people doing it, especially now that I'm not on the shows in that way, so I can like dip in and out of the change room and watching people go through it all. And because you're so in it in that bubble, I don't think you realize how fascinating it is to watch people put it together. Yeah, because you're in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, now, like, dipping in and out, I'm just like, there's so much that's going on in each person's brain that I took for granted.
Yeah. I think it's absolutely fascinating. Like, I always say, no one knows everything. I don't care how long you've been doing it, you do not know everything. And one guy's opinion is simply that, one guy's opinion. Ben Butcher, for example, he sent me his match recently with Strap, and I had to keep going over to him like, look, this is just my opinion. Don't take this as this is right. This is just my opinion. Dutch might tell you something else. And I just pretty much said to him, like, I would have structured it this way. And it took him a minute to figure out what I was trying to say. But I think eventually he got what I was trying to say. But yeah, this guy's sending me matches and in the back, like you say, watching people plan. It's fascinating. Even a big guy like Aaron, for example, he's this big, intimidating guy. And then this look of like, what the fuck? When I'm just like, right, we want to do this? And he's just like, after the match, he's like, mate, thank you so much for doing this. And it's humbling. But then I'm like, I feel like such a prick for throwing this Argos book of information. I'm blue pen.
Blue pen.
Blue pen.
I think it's worse though when people come with nothing to bring to the table.
Yes.
Like absolutely nothing. Like new guys coming up with very little, totally expected. They're new and all this sort of stuff. Or people who like to sort of work as they go, but they've still got right, okay, this is what I do, this is what I do here, and everything else will work out. But bringing nothing is so much worse than bringing everything.
I love a promoter that can tell me what they want. If you can tell me what you want, I can deliver it. Because I don't want to go and have a match and I come to you and, hey, is there anything you want tonight? And they're like, no, go have a good match. Go do what you want to do. And then half an hour later, I come for the curtain and they're like, didn't want that.
Yeah.
All right, you fucking tell me. It's becoming very normal now. Like you'll get an email days in advance where people are just sending rundowns and stuff. Or basically, I just want to have an assignment and deliver on the assignment. I don't want to break kayfabe or anything. But like, even now when I'm looking at this Harry Johnson match, I'm thinking, how can I make this the best I can while elevating Harry to a new level? Even though I don't see myself, I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to fuck him up. His mum and dad are going to cancel me. But at the same time, in my mind, I'm instantly thinking, like, how can I help in some way?
That's the best way. How can you help in some way? How can you bring someone up, but without bringing yourself down?
Yes.
Because I've seen that a fair few times where someone so badly wants to help someone else, they've actually brought themselves down to what they think the other person's level is. Does that make sense? I don't want to sound derogatory by it, but like it's, if you're trying to elevate someone, you need to bring you to the table and not go to them. So you're both up here rather than you coming down to meet them.
Well, I think it's the same way as a promo structure. If you run a guy down, who did you beat?
Oh, yeah.
It's the same in a match. If you just run a guy down, who did you beat?
Yeah.
If you beat somebody, then you've just earned a win.
But if you beat a nobody, it's nothing.
What's the
And
point?
if you lose to a nobody, you're worse than
Exactly.
nothing. Yeah. I completely agree. And that's, I try and say this with a boxing analogy. Oh, yeah, I'm going to kill you. Your family are going to have no one to mourn over because you're not here, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I couldn't win because I broke my little toe. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not saying I'd survive with that boxer, but come on, now you look a bit stupid.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But again, some people really like it because I think if you run someone down, they can relate to that was the school bully. You know, like, I'm not for that style of promo, but each to their own, innit? Like you say, opinions.
I'm of the mind where it's like, if you're running someone down to nothing, then yeah, you've beat no one. But it's not if you run someone down to nothing and they beat you, I don't think it's that, well, you've lost to nobody. It's that shout at Jamie Vardy, chat shit, got banged. You know what I mean? So it's a mixed opinion on it, really. It can
But that's it, it's opinion. It's opinion. It's what a fan can relate to as well. Like, I like to think of how can somebody relate to this? So little things that I've put into the matches over the year is, does the average person in the street understand what it's like for someone to backflip onto them, or do they understand what it's like to get a paper cut?
Yeah.
You know, like one looks impressive, one, you know, when you eat a bag of crisps hurts like shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's again, what can your audience relate to? So there's a place for it, but it's just, does it do you or the other person any good coming out of it? So,
But I think the fact that you're able to sit there and you're able to have a different opinion as a younger member of been into wrestling is good. I think your opinion being different to your dad's shows how different wrestling is changing. I think right now, the era, when we look back, we'll recall this the reality era. Shoot promos are becoming more of a thing. Everyone loves to just go out there and shoot what they call insider terms. Stuff like Logan Paul, CM Punk, MJF. Every promo nowadays feels real because people are leaning into real stuff. And I feel like that's what connects people now. We're in the reality era.
Yeah, and there's more stuff to. If not everybody in the audience has been punched in the face, they've definitely watched a cop show, or they've definitely been around when someone's getting floored by the door staff or security or police or anything like that, so they can relate to it in that way as well.
Yeah.
So I think reality does sell, but also when we first went to Gainsborough, I worked the door there for a few years, and I was like, right, it's a rough town. There's not a lot of money in the area, so let's just take the big lads and knock fuck out of each other, and that's what we did. First, second, third, fourth, fifth match, fourth match, up to the fourth match, all big guys. Match 6, big guys for the title. Very little reaction from the audience.
Right.
If they wanted to see a real fight, they'd go downstairs into the living room and watch mum and dad beat each other up, and open the door and watch the neighbours beat each other up. We put on a battle royal, and Timberwolf from House of Pain, he was in it, running around, barking like a dog, shaking his ass like a tail, throwed a tennis ball over the top rope. He jumps over to fetch the ball, eliminated, biggest pop of the night.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, what happened there? There's just, I think reality is the thing that really brings people in, but it should still be a variety show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big believer in that. Have something for everyone. You don't go to the circus to just watch clowns.
I think that's why people like Flex, for example, are so good, because they can do both. They can do the stupid shit, they can make it real and relatable, and I think those are the best wrestlers as a whole. Is not one-trick ponies.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle
So
could be a wrestling machine, rip your fucking head off and you believe it.
And then he's getting sprayed with milk the next
Or he
week.
could put a party hat on and do the Kumbaya with Steve Austin. And that is like The Miz. The Miz will never get released because he can adapt. And he's a WWE guy. He don't get injured, don't do anything. He barely does out, but he's adaptable. And that's why they keep him around.
Miz is so criminally...
I don't know if that picked up on the microphones. Don't know what that was.
He's so underrated, and I think he's so overhated as well.
100%.
And, I mean, don't go on the internet if you're a wrestling fan. It's a horrible place. Everyone there hates each other. But he gets too much slack for how good he is.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a nice little segue, though. If you had any advice for upcoming wrestlers.
Stop thinking like a professional wrestler and start thinking of yourself as a brand. Try to think of each promotion as a business. That's a shop. You are...
Not Argos.
Oh, not Argos. Fuck Argos. You are a brand. Sell that brand. Why should that promotion stock this product? So if Becca is like, right, I have slots open and there's 12 students, why should you be on the show? Oh, I can wrestle. Yeah, but all 12 of you should be able to wrestle. You're in training. Why should you be on this card? So that should be what you as a brand, when you're messaging promoters, what do you bring to this show? What makes you different than my 12 students? The reason now people aren't bringing cars from everywhere is because everyone's got a school. There wasn't this many schools 10 years ago. So they're not going to pay £100 just in X's for a car when they have a student who they can put on and work their ass off to work their way up. But if you think of yourself as a brand, and I'm like Reese and Rogan, tag team's dying, right? An actual tag team, look like a tag team, work as a tag team. Your tag team division needs this tag team because it's an actual tag team. We'll talk and back it up. We'll send you promos, we'll avatars, and people notice that shit. You need us on a show because not only does your tag team need it, but we'll also help your locker room, we'll help your advertising, and just sell yourself. Look at yourself as a brand. Don't just say, I can wrestle. Because you should be able to wrestle. You're a wrestler.
Or at least put together a basic structured match. Like you say, if you're a trainee, at least be able to put on a basic structured match and then work your way up. Like you say, that the promoter can see value in that going forward.
Yeah.
But I use a very similar one. So I say every promotion is a supermarket and you're a tin of beans.
Exactly.
So when you're starting your own brand beans, which they're cheap, they're easy to pick up, they're exactly what you need. Yeah. But if you want the Heinz beans, if you want to stand out, you've got to be the all singing, all dancing tin of beans.
So now imagine you're in Asda and that tin of beans has no advertising. So they have no social media presence. They don't share posters. They don't jump in cars. Are you going to go for that tin of beans that you've never seen on TV? Are you going to go for Hans that has been on your TV advertised repeatedly? You're going to go
every
for
bus
Hans.
shelter. It's still in the newspapers. Who buy newspaper anymore?
Social media is so important for branding because you're a brand.
Yeah.
Promoters notice it. People around you notice it. That's just my opinion. That would be my advice.
I think it's a really good one.
You don't just wrestling in the ring, out the ring. You have to be on it. Because if you're not, you get forgotten.
Yep.
You have to have a presence.
And on that, what's the best advice you've ever been given?
Best advice I've ever been given, don't forget who you are. If you walk through that door and you have the dreams of that kid wrestling on that trampoline, when you get them big opportunities like Rev Pro and Progress, you could either say, hey, I'm fucking it now. Or you can remember that kid on that trampoline and you will stay humble for the rest of your career. Because if you forget that kid on the trampoline, you might as well forget it because the opportunities will disappear. Because people will look right through you. They'll be like, who the fuck's this? But if you stay humble and you remember that kid with your foam belt and you remember jumping up and down with your mates, trust me, it'll work because you'll never, ever lose the humbleness. But that'd be my advice. Just don't forget who the fuck you are.
I mean, I think they're just decoration in the gym now, but every time I'm after I see them, all these toy belts, we'll get a picture up. All these toy belts I've had, there's rows of them. These are all my old ones from when I was a kid.
To me, one of the worst things people can say is a title is a prop. Because to me, while it is a prop in a theatrical show, a promoter has said, I am trusting you to sell tickets. This is why people have to have brands. Because if a promoter puts a title on a person that doesn't have a brand, why is anyone going to buy a ticket? No one's going to come to a show if their world champion or their tag team champion or the mid-card champion doesn't have a presence. Because what we're buying? We're buying a wrestling show. Yeah, but there's 24 wrestling shows happening every single Saturday. Why are we coming to your show? Because I know who the guy is. I've seen him. I want to see him again. I want to see him again. I want to see hair again. I want to see that tag team match again. So to me, if you have a belt, you treat the belt with respect. You treat the promotion with respect. And someone is giving you the ball, literally. And it's up to you to then show that promoter or that promotion, hey, look, I will elevate it. And right now I'm holding 3 belts and I treat every single one the same. No one is bigger than each other. No one is below. Everyone is treated the same.
I think that's a really, really important point for people. Like I do often say, like, for the purposes of the show, it's a prop in the show.
It's a prop within a theatrical show.
Yeah.
But if you're on that poster and you're the leading man tonight,
yeah,
we're coming to tickets. We're paying tickets. We're paying our hard-earned money to see you perform in the main role. Mm-hmm. And if that sells bad, that's not just on the promotion. That's on you as the champion. So it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. I mean, I went off Twitter properly a long time ago. I don't really understand Twitter anyway, but I remember someone putting something about, oh, look, he's put a belt on himself about me. I'm like, well, I don't run who does what on the shows. I never have. I've had a little bit of insight at the beginning.
He's not smart enough for that.
Yeah, I can't handle that shit. Like, I have a little bit of a say, as in, like, well, I have a say on who's doing well in training. Yeah. But I've never had a say on the main storylines or anything like that. So any matches I've been put into, I have openly said I'd really like to work with this person or do business here or whatever. So when a belt's been put on me, I understand that it's part of a cog on the wheel. You know, like I've never politicked for one. You know, I don't see the need to do so, but I don't know, when one's been put on me, it's right. Okay, we know Body Slams to Cancer's coming up. Who can do the media stuff? Because quite often we get the local TV or the radio or the reporter for the local newspaper or anything like that. It's because you can advertise the brand, you can advertise stuff and put bums in seats. 100%. So you know, it's a massively important role to be put into, no matter what the belt, whether it's you're brand new into the business, it's the academy belt, or whether it's the top of the food chain, you're the heavyweight champion. Everything is part of advertising yourself, advertising the people you're working with, advertising the companies you're working for, and putting butts in seats. And I don't think enough people realise that responsibility in the scheme of it.
I also think it's really intimidating as well. Like, here's an insider joke for you. You probably heard about it. When I got told I was winning the Fight Factory champion, obviously straight away I was like, why me? Why? What the fuck have I done?
Yeah, we've got footage of that.
And then the very next day I messaged Becca and I was like, should we put the belt on Dion instead? And she was like, you've only just won it. It's because I felt like, mate, this should be Jack. This should be Dion. It's like, hell, JOC, why the fuck am I doing this? But it's humbling, you know. I like the pressure now. If you asked me a year ago, I'd have probably said, like, nah, I don't want the pressure. Where now I'm like, I want the opportunities, and I want to be put in that position, and it's humbling that you guys see me in that role. I guess, especially when people are sending me matches and that, it's just mind blowing. But yeah, I won't stop politicking to put the belt on anyone else.
I mean, that's one of the reasons that the responsibility has been passed over to you, you know, because it's noticed. And again, like, the book inside isn't me, but she'll run things past me. And I know she's run things past you before. And there's a couple of other people where she'll go, what do you think to this idea? Just so that third person sort of mindset. It's about people bringing everybody up with them, you know, 100%. And you're very much about that from day one. I remember the first time that we'd heard about you guys, and was it 18, 19?
Probably.
And we were going to do a charity event over near Hull for her dad. And one of the things that the promoter said, Rich, is, I've got two lads who are just been put together. Would you mind? And we were like, yeah, cool. And for whatever reason, the show didn't happen. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, not even for the life of me, I can't remember. But we did say, like, we will get you guys on board. And from the first time you came in, you can see that. And it's grown as well, like that need to bring people up with you. And I think it is a need for you guys. Like, I think you thrive on it.
I appreciate you thinking that. It's not something like we intentionally do. It's just when you're in a locker room, you can either sit in the corner and you can pretend you're someone, or you can sit in a corner and be, hey, don't talk to me, I'm big shot. Or you can just make everyone feel welcome. And it's not our locker room, it's not my locker room, it's none of our fucking locker room. None of us are bigger than each other. Someone on their first ever show or someone on the 50th show, you're all doing the same thing. You're all putting fucking lycra on and pretending to wrestle.
You're pissing in the same bathroom.
Exactly. And you should shake everyone. Everyone don't like this shaking the hands thing. I think it's a good thing, because one day the person's hand you didn't shake, you could be wrestling them next week and your life is in their hands. It's all right. Just go up to them and say, hey, nice to meet you, I'm Corey. You don't have to fucking hug the guy. You don't have to talk to him ever again, but at least show each other respect and make everyone just feel welcome. Like, when you came and you was referee, how hard was that pushing for you to keep continuing that story? And you went from someone being shy to that moment where you finally stood up to Reese and Rogan, and that pop.
In the ring. Rogan's just said it's over. Referee Danny Marks is down. I mean, it's all being over, but there's no referee to make the count here. Oh, no. HMD looking to use that title belt.
This is what happened to Ian.
Whoa.
Whoa, speaking of Ian.
Whoa.
Speaking of Ian.
He's not allowed out here.
Oh, HMD just...
He's got no business being out here.
That's what happened to him last week.
He just struck a competitor. He's not allowed to do that. He's an official. He's a Fight Factory official. He's not allowed
tonight,
to.
He's not.
And now, referee Ian getting into the ring, checking on his apparent dad.
What do you mean apparent dad? That is his dad.
Well, he's
HMD might not know where he is, but he's about to find out. Ian got struck.
Go on, HMD, hit him.
Ian got struck with that belt last week.
He's a member of that family.
Out.
Oh, no!
Downbuster! 1, 2, 3!
No! No!
He's an official, like you said!
No, I'm not announcing that. That's not official as far as I'm concerned. No! Not having it.
Then I'll do it. Here are your winners and the new Fight Factory Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Dutch, Aaron Jacobs, the Friendship!
Why, Glenn? Why did you have to be like that? You're so biased. That's unnecessary. That's cheating from referee Ian. The Friendship are Tag Team Champions. And That wasn't even legal. Nothing about that was legal.
Referee Ian is the backup referee for the night. That was perfectly legal.
I'm not even sure referee Ian is legal. As far as I'm concerned, he's a little bastard.
Along with referee Ian, your new Fight Factory Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Dutch, Aaron Jacobs, the Friendship!
Rogan just had words with HMD and walked off. I'm not sure what's happened there.
And I think that's just because you went from being shy to eventually being comfortable. And I think you was comfortable because everyone involved with the story, Dutch, Aaron, Dion, Reese, we was all just on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, it was when I first come in. Obviously, go on my tangent. Autistic, everyone, but it was always in most social environments. It's always difficult talking to new people and just talking to people I actually know as well. Can be
if he got a food order and it was wrong, he wouldn't eat it. Because he can't bring himself to eat it and he won't complain. That's how socially awkward he is.
I'll eat the chips and I'll put the rest in the bin. It's not that bad.
Oh, we've got a card full.
Ooh.
We're going to have to pause right there.
FFW Pro Wrestling and Fitness Centre is the training school for Fight Factory Wrestling UK, based just off Doddington Road near the Birchwood in Lincoln. We offer wrestling training for both adults and children ages 8 years and upwards. We also offer personal training in one-to-one and group sessions, run by a husband and wife team consisting of a level 3 personal trainer and wrestling coach and registered nurse. FFW has been helping people on their fitness journey and producing professional wrestlers since 2013. We focus on your holistic well-being and care with bespoke classes and personal training sessions to suit all. More details of this can be found on our website, fightfactorywrestling.com, or you can send us an email at linkswrestling@gmail.com to get more details.
Where were we?
Me being socially awkward and autistic, yeah. So, just if the approaching with ideas and just say, "Oh, you're right, mate." Every time we see it, it does mean a lot. It does. I don't know the words for it because I'm a fucking idiot. It helps make the situation like real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to me, I feel like
easier to process that I'm here, I'm doing this, blah blah blah, doing this with this guy and this with this guy, and I can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And if you was working with someone and they just blanked you out and they just came up to you 5 minutes before you went out and went, "All right, kid, here's what you're doing," you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
But if you're at ease an hour before the doors and you're able to relax, you're going to be a lot more prepared for when you go out. Instead of someone's going, "I know you're Dutch's kid, you know what to do, right? Right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go in, you're going to pull a leg, and we're going to go out." What? What the fuck you say? Where'd you said? But yeah, I just think everyone should be welcoming, to be honest, because we're all in the same boat.
I'm not going to name the promotion, but years ago, pre-COVID, I was at a show and a trainee from their place or their associated place was refereeing, which everyone's got to learn somewhere. And he knew what he was doing. Like, I spoke to him, like, he seemed fairly confident. One of the people in the match went, "Oh, he's just a fucking trainee. He's just a ref." Yeah. You fucking what? And I don't know how many of these stories I've got in me, probably too many, but I lost my shit. I absolutely lost my shit. Who the fuck do you think you are to think you're better than just a trainee or just a fucking referee? Like, the referee's one of the most integral parts of the fucking show, you idiot. Yeah. Oh.
And they started off as a trainee as well.
Yeah. Yeah. They've not progressed much further.
Actually, I came in and I was already fucking amazing. Who do you think you are?
All right.
Like,
Randy Orton, eh?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one thing that really fucking grinds my gears. But We'll not go on a tangent there. So, have you got any favourite matches that you've been in and favourite matches that you will constantly go back to pick apart and take ideas from?
So, I mean, the one with Jason Morgan, obviously, is going to hold the sentimental value now. That's going to be one I'm obviously going to look back on for years. There was a body slams a few years ago with me and Reese. Mm-hmm. I've been constantly pushing, like, this body slams. It needs to be like a Yorkshire Tough triple threat, like me, Reese, and Dion. Like, I just think the idea of that, the greed for the belt or something, even if the belt's not involved, just all three of us having to wrestle, I think would be an interesting idea. Favourite matches, working Myers and Nathan all City Hall in the tag team tournament final. That was a pretty emotional one.
Reaction as well.
Working Wild Boar, incredibly humbling experience. Such a good pro, and just he's another guy going back to making people feel welcome. There wasn't at any point I felt he thought he was bigger than me, and he could have done. He could have just told me we're doing this, but he didn't. He just made me feel so welcome and accepted. So yeah, I mean, a lot of my favourite matches have ironically happened right here in Fight Factory, and that's because I've been given the platform to learn, and I like to learn.
There you go. It just seems like so intrigued in what you were saying there, and he's like, "What's next?"
Just drinking my blue pens, ain't I?
That's the only reason I'm here, is just to listen to people chat shit. I'm not interested enough to do a podcast by myself. I stumble on every word. I'm like, but I'm just
one thing that you could get out of this is the road journeys. Like, you're not in the car doing the same as...
Yeah.
This is literally, like, for anybody watching, this is how car journeys are, really. We just talk to each other about shit we've done in wrestling, right? Or food.
Planning the match.
Yeah, the best way you know someone's chemistry is in a car. That's where you're going to learn someone.
They're normally the best parts of wrestling as well. The locker rooms and the car journeys.
Feel like half an hour, then...
You're winning.
Yeah.
So I think it's time you get your phone out and have a look at these viewers' questions.
I've got some of them that you've sent me. I've got some that I've screenshotted. We'll see what's what.
There's a fair few, so we could be here for a while.
Yeah, I
on
was
this
saying I think this is the most we've got. And the first question that I was...
Do we know who asked them?
Well,
we can give you the name after, I think,
All right.
for some of them.
you could say for all of them, I think. It's not...
I
we
should
can
be
figure out who some of them
be
are.
able to guess.
Okay, right. Well, guess this one. Question: have you ever pushed a man just to watch him fall?
All right, so that's either Dion or Jack. Yeah, I helped Dion get pushed, now I regret
it. Final guess on that.
Dion.
It was Dion.
Of course it was.
Do you ever think Yorkshire Tough will break up?
Yes, because Dion will outgrow us.
Oh,
I can't tell if you hate or you really like this kid. Like, I can't tell if you despise him or not.
so who was that question from? Just so he knows.
That was from one of our trainees, Alfie.
Okay.
Yeah. Next question. Is this on TikTok? I think.
Let's have a look.
I think that is TikTok, isn't it?
Yes.
Who would win in an arm wrestle between you and Reese?
Oh, me, obviously. Reese goes to the gym all the time and he thinks he's fucking well hard, but he's gone on that cut, hasn't he? He's gone on that cut, he's lost all that weight. Nah, he don't stand a chance. And he has that horrible tiger tattoo and it's like, come on, mate, what are you doing?
We're just having to rattle through.
Who was that
these.
from as well? It was on TikTok, wasn't it?
That was from TikTok account well 1234.
Well.
well.
Yeah.
And a question for Rogan: how did HMD join Yorkshire Tough?
So it was a natural thing where Reese got an eye injury. It was meant to be me and Reese at a promotion called North, which is like one of the biggest promotions right now, easily like top 5 promotions in the country. And there was like, look, who can replace Reese? I was like, 100% Dion, 100%, because he jumps in every single car with us. It's not a gimmick. He literally is a little brother to us. Annoying. Well, I hate the kid. I hate him. But no doubt it was Dion. And then once the promoter saw all 3 of us together, there was like, he's Spike Dudley. he's your Spike to your Dudley Boys. And then we got matching jerseys. And then once you, again, go back to branding, once promoters see the image of everyone looking similar, that's it. And then more people started picking it up. And then once you see the image, it's easy to sell.
Do you know it's pretty much HMD why he started actually wrestling?
Really?
Yeah. All HMD's fault.
You can't do anything like that, can you? Could have kept me as a referee, but no.
Get him on the pod.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, we want to get all three of you on eventually, so
Okay.
we've got 1 of 3 now. It was a camp show. Again, we've been through this, but I can't remember where it was. North way somewhere. And he was in the van with us too, and he was just speaking about, like you do, the stories.
Yeah.
And because he's grown up around it, he's got so many little stories that have been normal. And Dion was like, how the fuck is this normal? Like, this is not normal. Why are you not embracing this? And it was that moment where we got home and he was like, I think I should do it. I think Dion's made a point where I should be like properly training and learning to wrestle. And there
That's
we are.
really heartwarming, man. That's pretty cool.
And that's, what is that, 3 or 4 of your kids now?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want my kids wrestling. Good job there, mate. Well, this is a long one, and I'm definitely going to fuck it up because I can't speak. I'm just going to read it word for word. Ask him how he got so jacked when just a few years ago walking 15 minutes to a car meet left him so gassed that he thought it was a rib. Ironically, the meet was so she goes to the gym.
That's definitely Myers.
Yep.
Yeah, either Myers or Nathan. But yeah, years ago, I just kind of let myself go. And it became like a running joke that I was like pretending I was gassed. And now it's kind of continued this like 20-minute match thing. Where it's just become a running joke that I just pretend I'm fucking fucked. But no, I lost loads of weight. I'm currently at my lightest I've been in years. Not intentionally. It's just I was really bad on snacking and just buying the wrong stuff. So now I just started snacking on protein bars, and that's pretty much it. There's no amazing story behind it, or I've just started smashing gym. Just changed my snacking.
Yeah. We've got one.
Fucking Myers.
And I'm going to say who's asked this because it's funnier. From Rage Jacobs Wrestling on Instagram. Ask Corey why he's got such a good mind for wrestling. How he's such a good person.
Fuck off, Aaron. Fuck. I'm not giving him any more fucking feedback or fuck that guy.
But in fairness, it is so far unanimously with anybody who's been through here, they will in some way or another credit you for something. So, like, get used to it.
Next question.
Babyface it up.
I think it's become like part of the certain segment on the pod. It's how can we make you feel awkward when you listen to
Well,
it?
you made me awkward just by inviting me on. I've been awkward. When I get awkward, I swear, and I've already
Fuck Argos.
I've already told Argos to fuck off, Morrison's to fuck off. No, but to answer your question, the end goal for me is to be a trainer or some sort of agent in some way, like behind the scenes or just helping people. I feel like I'm able to see things. I don't know why. I don't know. It sounds a bit weird, but I can see structure of matches in my head and think of them before I get there. Again, coming to shows with ideas, whether it's story ideas or match ideas. I would like eventually to get to a point where I'm helping others, whether it be training or agent in matches. So, yeah. Aaron, fuck off.
And we've got one last here. How has, if at all, your heart condition affected your wrestling journey?
So I'm one of only 2 people in the country who I know of that has had open heart surgery and is cleared to wrestle. It affects me when I first started, I was self-conscious about the scar. And then someone said to me, no, that's your tattoo. And I don't know why, but that kind of stuck with me. People get tattoos to tell stories. People get tattoos to tell people there's my interest. And for some reason, when someone said that's your tattoo, that's your story, don't hide it. And my singlet started getting more low cut. I started embracing it. And I just said, fuck it, you know. I mean, it's proof that you can do anything if you put your mind to it. If I can do it when I was told I should be in a wheelchair and on medication for life, and I'm 29, 10 championships, competed for the top 3 biggest promotions in the country, I could retire now, honestly, and I could say I'm happy. I could honestly say there is nothing left. Apart from a match with Dion, I can't think of...
You just want that match so you can kick the piss out of him.
I do. But yeah, it's not hindered me, it's motivated me. And my advice to anyone with any disabilities or doubts or self-consciousness or anything mental, it doesn't matter. Mentally or physically, just give it a go. Because you don't want to get to an old age and say, what if? It gave me this thing where I have no fear. I just say, fuck it. Ask for forgiveness afterwards. Sorry for the chop. Sorry for the back chop.
It's you said earlier about people see the scar, and I don't know if this is because I don't wear my glasses enough, but I didn't know until you told me, like genuinely. So
a lot of people have said that as well, and I think it's more because if you had an insecurity right now,
mm-hmm.
let's say you didn't.
Shut the fuck up.
But if you didn't notice, you notice that every single time you look in a mirror.
I've not got a receipt because I don't notice it.
You just take the hat off.
But no one else noticed it. But if it beat you up, you're going to notice it no matter what. Don't matter what anyone says.
You're always going to be your own biggest hater at the end of the day.
100%. I've never watched back a match, for example, and been happy. And I think that's because I see improvement. I just beat myself up all the time. But I think that's also a quality, because how can I improve this? If you watch back a match and you go, oh, that was fucking sick, that 10 out of 10. Well, why don't you do that same match every night? You can be happy with a match, but I'll never be satisfied.
If you can see improvement, that means that you can see room to grow and get better.
100%.
And if you're not at your ceiling, then that's something to aspire to hit. That's something to grow into and get better. So I think it's a good thing.
If I have a match and I ask someone for feedback and their feedback is, I ain't got anything. What? What am I going to take from that? I'd rather be ripped apart, because then at least I can take something from it. If I did good for the promoter, fantastic. But if I'm asking one of the boys an honest opinion, like, what did I do there? And they've said, hey, you could have took a bit more here. Even if it's just one thing, you could have maybe milked that a bit more. I'll take it on board. Next time I get to that match, you'll see it. Every single bit of information goes in and is noted. And I think that's how you improve.
I think I could be crediting the wrong person, but I'm pretty sure it was Sykes who said to me once, if you feel you've had the perfect match and you get no criticism, as in constructive criticism, retire.
For me, it's when the fun stops.
Yeah.
When someone said that to me, who said, pretty much, yeah. If you stop getting nervous before a match, and if you stop feeling, mate, that was fun, then why are you doing it? It's too there's too much time. It takes up all your time. It's too hard on the body. What are you doing it for?
I mean, back to what you were saying about that kid on the trampoline and always looking back at that. If you're going into a match and you're not thinking, fucking hell, this is what I've wanted to do, even if it's for just 2 years where you've seen it on a post and you've gone, I'll give that a crack, or whether it's you've watched it since you were a kid and it's something you've always wanted to do, you should go into every match with that, fucking hell, I'm actually doing this. And 100%. You should enjoy it, and you should enjoy the nerves before going out the curtain. 100%. I mean, I've only had, 3 matches, but I still get it. And when I was reffing, every match I go out, even just for reffing, I'd still get it. It is just a good thing.
I think it means you care. Like, even stuff like this is humbling. Like, the fact Dutch has took time on this. I mean, why? But it's just humbling stuff for me. Nothing is taken for granted. Absolutely nothing. And that goes back to being humble. Just stay humble. Remember who you was and who you are now. Didn't change. You just got bigger.
It's similar to something, I don't even know if you realise you said it. You said something along the lines of, I want to be that person that I looked up to, like for Cody and for Cena. Like, so always having that striving to be that inspiration for somebody. I think that's a pretty cool way to look at it as well.
100%. I think it's pretty much a very similar analogy.
Yeah.
Like that kid on the trampoline, you being the kid, was once John Cena as a kid wrestling on a trampoline.
I mean, there's that one picture of John Cena that's in every video package of the Cena match. He's holding that cardboard belt, isn't there?
You probably remember that because you're fucking weird, you. Yeah. You could probably name the songs that was playing in the background of it as well.
I reckon there's a few video packages I can remember the songs to.
Yeah, but you never had the cardboard ones. You always cried enough to make us buy them ones.
Yeah, buddy.
So again, something we ask everybody is in your Hall of Fame. So you've got your own personal Hall of Fame. You can pick a person or people, and they don't need to be wrestling related, but they can be. Anybody you would put into that Hall of Fame, and any moment from your life that you'd put into that Hall of Fame.
I'd put my granddad in my Hall of Fame. He was a heavyweight boxer, travelled up and down the country, and people say I remind them of him a lot. And he's going through a rough time at the moment, but like he met a lot of the British wrestling legends like Mick McManus back in the day, which was weird because the wrestling and the boxing used to travel together. But yeah, it's just a fucking gentle giant. He's amazing. When it comes to moments, 100% my kids, 100%. I would do anything for my kids. Them boys are obsessed with wrestling, just obsessed. And even though they're only 1 and 4, to see their excitement of me bringing a belt home is just, that for me is better than anything I've done in ring. Is bringing the belt home and like, here you go, play with this. This is ours. But yeah, that's my Hall of Fame.
Do they lift them up?
They do. You get a picture every single time.
Have they fallen over with the weight of them yet?
100%.
Are you going to bring up this story of me falling over that
No,
time?
it's just I just want to know if it happens to other kids. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Like, I obviously they travelled with us a lot.
Yeah.
And it was always a pretty cool thing when they stayed awake. It was like so many just little things that, again, that maybe were taken for granted, where the kids are there and they're excited about a match, whether it's about my match or someone else's, it wasn't relevant to me really. Yeah. It was just they were there, and being able to travel to shows, being on shows with the kids, like for me, that's like, it's not lost. You know, so you've got it all to come if they get into it and everything. There'll be little moments of please don't get into this, and then there'll be moments of this is pretty fucking cool.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's one of them love-hate things sometimes, but
just don't take notes from him. Don't hold out too much hope that they're not going to do it, because he's done that, and 3 or 4. Yeah, he's got a good track record.
Would you mind them getting into it? Obviously, right now it's different to the future, but
yeah, I think it depends where the business goes. A few years ago, obviously where British wrestling was, I mean, I don't want to get into it, but probably not, because it was too, I'm going to say it, when all that stuff came out, it turned me away from wrestling, and I'm obsessed with wrestling. So that I wouldn't want any of my family near it, never mind my kids. But now it's back and it's thriving, and it looks like locker rooms are changing and people are coming round to it again, and shows are growing. Maybe one day, if that's what they want to do, I'll support them no matter what. But I can tell I'm really protective, so I won't be taking an eye off them, and I could see me just fucking losing my shit as some trainer.
He said it already today. I didn't want him in for them reasons. I knew a lot of stuff back then, and you can see it slowly tidying up, and yeah, it's definitely in a better place. Yeah. But there's still always that little bit of what if.
No comment.
You know, like, yeah. So the next moment is blackballing. So anything you would blackball.
Goose. What? What?
I think that one's getting cut.
All right, go again. Ask me again.
And what would you blackball?
Dom.
I'm fine with that one staying in.
Yeah. Romanov.
Third time's the charm. You do it. We'll rotate.
We can keep the question in.
Just stay with Don. No, are we talking about blackballing life or in wrestling or what?
From your personal life. So it not necessarily your personal life, but anything. If you in the ideal world, you could say, right, we want none of that. Let's get rid of it, and it's gone like that.
So if it wasn't for wrestling, I wouldn't have social media. I think if it wasn't for branding, I wouldn't touch social media. I think a lot of harm has been done through social media. And yeah, if I wasn't in wrestling whatsoever and I didn't use it as a tool to sell the brand, my blackball would be social media as a whole. Just completely get rid of it.
I think the anonymity, is that the word?
Yeah.
The ability to just hide behind a blank profile and say whatever you want makes people too comfortable. And you just end up with some really toxic environments. I mean, I try to keep away from it. Stuff that comes up on my social media is just funny shit.
Yeah.
But there's some real horrible shit out there.
Yeah, I mean, like TikTok nowadays is hopefully, I don't have TikTok, but what I've heard, it's like funny videos, really short clips and stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, social media is a very dark place. And I think it's something that, for me, who is a very big advocate for mental health, I think social media sets this image that is
The perfect life image.
Yeah, you can't get it. You go onto people's Instagrams and they're projecting what they want you to see, or people are bullying others behind a blank screen, or they are not able to check a child's age. Anyone can just
They are
sign
able
up.
to. This is the sad thing. They are able to.
Really?
Yeah. So I have the OnlyFans account, right? And to sign up to that, I have to have a picture of my passport. Then I have to have a picture of myself. Then I have to have a picture with myself next to my passport. And then, without spoiling what my OnlyFans is, if there's anybody else in certain types of videos, I would have to have a disclaimer with them doing the same sort of shit.
Right.
So it's completely possible to do. I think... What was the site? I think it was actually TikTok. They wanted me to age verify for this account. They wanted me to age verify that I'm running it so we can do lives. So, you know, you're obviously old enough to then to deal. Well, I don't think there's obviously old enough to, but you're old enough to understand the consequence of people talking to you in a live environment. Yeah. Whereas if you're 15, people starts giving you shit, it might be a bit more daunting. But yeah, they definitely can police that better. I just don't think they want to.
Yeah, I think that takes money.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes time. But if a 13-year-old or a 12-year-old wants to sign up for Facebook and use a fake email account, I imagine they can find a way to get around it.
I don't know. I'm an idiot when it comes to stuff like that. But
yeah, social media or goose.
Is there anything you would like to plug?
Show with Harry Johnson in June 28th.
You know what it's called?
It's the Book of Morgan, right?
You know, came up with that.
Probably Dutch.
No, for once, the movie references wasn't me.
Yeah, I know, right? You went through this stage of being obsessed with the Book of Mormon because you went to watch it. I was thinking, right, I've got to come up with something. And I'm surprised he didn't. It was right there. It was Book of Morgan. And you just...
I'd even messaged him about, hey, do you and your missus fancy going to watch this?
You just
it didn't even click.
Together. So,
but have you seen that?
I haven't.
It's by the people who made South Park.
Oh, right.
It is brilliant. If you get the opportunity to go and see that,
let's keep my eye out for it.
I reckon it's.
You went to watch it in Hull, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Hull to watch it. Yeah.
But yeah, June 28th, Harry Johnson, his biggest opportunity yet, his biggest match. It's not about championships.
Cheers, mate.
You're shit. I'm just trying to plug your show there, mate. Go on, mate. We'll just bully you instead. Yeah. Fucking blue pens. Yeah, fuck the tickets. Let's just bully you.
Do you know what? I think ticket sales are actually already going pretty well for this early on.
Sick.
So if anybody in the audience really gets pissed off by young Harry Johnson, this is the perfect time to buy tickets. I don't know if it's been sanctioned yet, but I mean, I'm hoping she's in the office next to us. She's hearing it and doing it as we speak.
I'm politicking me.
You know, all alignments aside, I think that would be a really interesting match to watch as well. So I we'll back you on that. I want to see
No
it.
back chops.
Well, if he earns it, he earns it.
Maybe.
I mean, apparently I have power nepotism on my side, so I'm gonna get that booked.
That's it.
Anything else you'd like to plug? Anywhere else you go in, or?
So yeah, we're returning to North. We have a span coming up at the end of this month where it's like 4 days on the trot. So we'll be when's this going out?
The 1st of June.
Hopefully.
So yeah, so we'll be debuting for Atomic in Liverpool in a brewery. That'd be really good. Atomic's building itself up. The day after that, we will be at NGW's camp show, and then the day after that, we will be return to North, and then on the Saturday, BWR, and then the show after that is here, I believe. It might be somewhere else. But yeah, we've got a lot of shit coming up, but just buy tickets. Just buy tickets. Come see me kick the shit out of Harry.
I'll be there.
I will, in the description, put a link to your Instagram.
Yeah.
Both for yourself and for Yorkshire Tough.
I do all the social media. I might as well do Dion's social media as well, because Reese doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing. I plug all the stuff for Dion and Reese. Jack's even had me helping out with his social media.
I mean, if you want to take on the Fight Factory one as well.
Give me the passwords. Give me the passwords.
I'd love to, but I've forgotten it.
Oh.
I genuinely don't. I'm at the minute, I'm logged out of the Lad and Dad social media. My phone kicked me out of everything and I can't get back into it. So
Jesus Christ.
I'm pretty much on the same wavelength. I don't know what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's unless you got anything else you wanted to say to people.
Thanks for having me on. It's humbling, and fuck Argos.
I don't think I even need to sign out. That's it. Fuck Argos.
Is that how we're ending it?
Yeah. It's full stop. Done.
Sorry,
Okay, I still like you, Argos, if there's any advertising opportunities to come
That
up.
Randy Orton was pretty cool. Right.
Cool.
We already know what to do by now. Don't want to seem like we're begging it, but like, subscribe, 5 stars, whatever it is on all the other platforms. I still don't know. I don't do
Give it a share.
Yeah, all that stuff. You've watched till the end, so well done. Please start with shit or not, as always, and good riddance.
Bye.